I'm Kelly Zink with the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission. I have been working with this.
I don't think it's
I
on.
don't think it's on.
No.
Maybe it's not. All right, I'll just talk loud then. And so I was trying to look this way. Okay, so my name is Kelly Zink. I'm with the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission. And I have been helping the city put together the, is it working now?
Hey.
I've been helping the city put together their grant application to the state for funds for part of the sewer treatment plant upgrade, okay? And this is a required public hearing that goes in with that application to show that we've, made the community aware that they're applying for the funds and what the purpose is and so on and so forth. So the city has, let's see, I think you completed phase 1, correct me if I'm wrong. You are getting ready to bid out phase 2A, and then these funds are part of the funding package for phase 2B. Phase 2B is gonna roughly cost about $4.5 million, and this grant is $750,000 of that. These are grant dollars as opposed to loan dollars, so these don't get paid back. So they're really just to help keep the project as affordable as possible, for the customers on the system, okay? And so as part of the application process, we just come down, the city holds a public hearing, lets anybody make any comments or anything like that. I will say I've got a sign-in sheet here, and I'll probably just pass it around for anybody who wants to sign it. It's really just to, show that folks showed up at the public hearing, everyone, just me. So I'll just pass this around to you guys. Feel free to sign it if you're comfortable to do so. And then I'll just collect it at the end with however many signatures are there. So with that being said, it's a pretty cut and dry project. I'm not gonna know a lot of the technical answers. I'm definitely not the engineer on the project, but if anybody would have any questions about the grant application or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to answer those.
What does CBDG stand for?
Okay, that stands for Community Development Block Grant.
Okay.
It's monies that the state of Missouri gets, and then they hold a competition. All of the small towns in outside of the St. Louis, Kansas City areas get to apply for and utilize those funds to do projects.
Is there anybody here tonight that's got any questions?
Can't hear you, speak up.
Yeah.
You can't hear that?
Now I got you.
Now, better.
Harold, we're gonna be closer. Did you hear that?
Thanks.
Is there anybody here that would like to talk on behalf of, this is a public hearing, if there's anybody who would like to voice their concerns or anything for this? No.
Can you clarify, how much is this grant for?
This grant is for $750,000. So it's a small component of the overall package, but the nice part about it is that it is grant dollars, so you don't have to pay it back.
Are there stipulations as to what's to be done with that money?
It will all go towards the construction part. So the city will be paying for the engineering and some of the ancillary costs. This will go strictly towards the construction line item.
And is there a match amount?
Well, the match amount, so the total project cost is about $4.5 million. So the city, obviously is bringing the bigger chunk of that to the table, and that is through DNR funds, Sally, if I remember, or ARPA funds possibly?
So phase 2B is funded by the bond that was passed a year ago during the election. Okay, when the public passed that bond, then that made the city eligible for a $2 million grant through the SRF, State Revolving Fund. Okay, so it was $4.5 million, it's a $2 million grant through SRF. Then if we're successful with this CDBG grant for another $750,000, that means we'll actually only have to bond for the remaining amount. So 1.4 million, yeah. So significantly less than what the ballot language said last spring, so which is a definite plus.
Is there anybody else that has any questions? All right, this time then we'll close this public hearing.
All right, thank you. I'll just collect the sign-in sheet after it's made its way around, okay? All right, thank you.
At this time, I would like to call our
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this community and everyone in it. Pray that you guide and direct us in everything that we say, that we do, and we ask for your blessing as we're gathered together to conduct city business. We thank you for everything that you do for us, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, next item is roll call. I'm present. Alderwoman Dent.
I'm present.
Alderman Boyd.
Present.
Alderman Whalen.
Present.
That he is. Alderwoman Cisco.
Present.
City Administrator Burbridge.
Present.
City Clerk Kohler.
Present.
City Attorney Weber is absent. Director of Public Works Payne.
Present.
Chief of Police Chase.
Present.
Finance Director Stacy Houston.
Present.
And our other city staff is mostly boys from Parkman, right? Got Brent Young from the street department. We got Josh Foxbaugh from the utilities. Am I missing anybody? Chris McGurk from the water department.
James
And then James Crawford from the sewer, treatment department. And Jared for, last but not least, Jared Brown. Next item up is the approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda?
I'm making a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
And Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item up is the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
And Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item up is public comment. Do we have any part for public comment tonight? No. Next up is, I have some board appointments, tonight. I make a recommendation to appoint Kyle Williams to the Finance Committee. And for the capital improvement, Danita Williams, Lauren Brew, Jeremy Steelman, and Michael Rushing.
I would move to approve all of those that you're recommending to those committees. Do I need this?
So, just want to bring them off here.
Yeah.
I'll second.
This time I'll call for the vote. Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Next item up is the expenditures of funds for the fireworks display.
I would like to speak on behalf of that before we take over, please.
Yes, please.
We have been, as the community involvement committee, we have been trying to figure out ways to be able to have a firework display this year, because last year I, was very urgent and diligent about having a firework display this year, because, Mrs. Dent did such a tremendous job of, she had a few helpers, I'm not sure who all helped her, but I know there's several, who went around and gathered donations to be able to do some kind of display last year. So the city did set aside $10,000 in our budget line item last year to be able to put that towards a firework display this year. The fireworks, I'm not sure how long has been under the city of Salem, but we have found a way to be able to get that out from underneath the city of Salem. And that way we can do as we anticipated to, and that's to make a donation towards a display for our citizens and others, as well. There's people outside of town that come to watch the display as well. And that is Helping County is going to allow them to operate under their name for now. And the one to contact contact for that is going to be Sierra Connell. Her maiden name is Sierra Hadler. She is going to be the head on that committee. It's going to be the fireworks committee, but for right now, so they can start earning donations and open an account to put the donations into, that is going to be under her. She requested that I just give out her cell phone number in case somebody wanted to be a part of that and help her gather donations and or donate to it. So her phone number for that, in case you wanted to reach out to her, her number is 573-247-9722, and that is Sierra Connell. She is going to be in charge of the firework display this year. Of course, she's going to have an army of people helping her, but she's going to be the main one to contact to help gather those donations and also go looking for donations and be in charge of that. But she did make a request that you make any kind of source of payment out to Healthy Dent County, and then in the memo line, you put the fireworks committee or just for fireworks donation. That way they can specify in their budget item of where those funds are going to. But they are requesting that we take that $10,000 and donate it to the fireworks for this year. We have it set aside for the fireworks. It's just, of course, we're not going to be manning the show this year. It's going to be that committee, and they know they've been a part of the committees with Sally, giving good direction on how to move forward with that, what they need to do, and also who they need to be contacting to get the proper license. They know that, you know, under where they're going, I don't think it has to be bid out anymore, and that's kind of what they were doing with such a limited time that they have. So that's what I have to say on the firework display. They're taking it out from underneath they're taking it away from the community involvement. However, we plan to still be very involved with that and be any kind of, you know, hands-on, feet on the ground that they're gonna need. So that's all I want to say. They are requesting another $10,000 that is set aside for it currently. We did speak to, there was a couple different PIO engineers that was in the crowd of the community involvement. They both assured us that $10,000 would give us the same show that we've had in the past. Our fair, you know, not all of that $10,000 is going to go towards the fireworks. We do have to pay for the grounds at the Commons, and Benny Maxwell is just charging us what it cost him to have the insurance and to have the power on out there, and such as his cost. So he's not upcharging us, it's simply his cost for us to be able to have it out there. Though in the past we have been looking and we have rented that for an extensive time. So we're wondering if we cut that down to just a couple of days or 3 days to allow cleanup, if potentially that could be cheaper. So that's something Sierra herself is looking into and having those conversations with Mr. Maxwell. But that is, you know, the $10,000 would go towards the budget of the fireworks. I don't want you to think that that's specifically going to go towards the fireworks. It will be going just in general for the firework display. So, you know, I just want to make sure that people understand that. We have had a couple of citizens already donate. So if you are still wanting to donate that, just make your check out to Healthy Dent County, and then in your memo line, just put fireworks or fireworks committee.
What is the cost for the rental?
Oh, geez, 1,300, 1,400, something like that. Less than 1,500.
Alright. Any questions or comments? Alright, do I have a motion?
I would move to approve, donating $10,000 to Healthy Dent County earmarked for the fireworks committee.
I'll second that.
And before I call for the vote, I want to thank Alderman Cisco for all the time that you have worked hard and diligently, getting everybody together for this. I'd also like to thank Alderman Dent for the past, for the effort that you put in to put in the fireworks show for last year. It is great, it doesn't go unnoticed, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you again, Alderman Cisco.
Thank you. I just know how important it is to our community, and it's just a old-time tradition that I think is something that we don't want to lose. It brings our community together, it brings families together, and it's just a terrific opportunity to remind us of why we do what we do in the city.
Thank you again. This time I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next item up is the hot mix asphalt bid approval.
Yeah, we're just looking at, doing a overlay on, South Hickory from Roosevelt Street to 32 and West End, MacArthur to Washington Street. 2-inch overlay on those. They're just deteriorating in bad shape, bad need, so that's about all I have.
Brent, I know this probably goes without me even having to ask, but I just wanna make sure, before we do lay that asphalt on the streets that you're recommending, can we work with the water department and sewer, make sure there's no repairs that we can accomplish? I'm sure you already are talking a lot closer in meetings, so that is very much appreciated. So like I said, it goes without me even probably having to ask, but I just wanted you, I'd rather know that I asked than not accidentally to have to rip up fresh new asphalt.
Yep, we've been doing that.
Perfect, thank you.
I know for this budget, we budgeted $120,000 for this, and there's 2 bids submitted. And, is there a question?
Just a quick correction, it's listed in the recommended motion as the wrong bid. It's Pierce Asphalt, but it's for $107,289. So just wanted to point that out.
And no, my question. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. At this time, is there any other questions?
Just in case anybody had questions, the reason why those streets were picked is Brent says they get to a point where you're gonna have to pull all that back and reseed the whole roadway, whereas if he hits it now with an overlay, we save ourselves that added expense, so.
Yeah, I've noticed that, Mr. Burke there from our water department replaced quite a bit of lines and stuff over there. There's a lot of fixing. So at this time, do I have a motion for the next asphalt bid approval from Pierce Asphalt for $107,289?
I would move to approve the bid for Pierce Asphalt for $107,289.
No, second.
And I will call for the vote. Alderman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderwoman Doodd.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is the HVAC system for the animal pound.
The current system we have in our animal shelters, not functioning like it needs to. It's, older, it's been offline for probably about 4 or 5 years. And so we've got to get it back up and running to meet state compliance. We put out a request for bids. There were 3 bids submitted, only 2 were, submitted properly, and this submitted like, this was, well, one bid was without the company necessarily, there were just 2 lines. Covers no warranty information, no service after the sale. The other 2 bids we received, one was from Hartley's, and the other was from Salem Heating and Cooling. My recommendation is that we do the phase 1 project from Salem Heating and Cooling, bid of $78.50. You can, yeah, so you can see it there. Includes 2 years free labor, 10-year warranty on parts, and covers all of the needs, as far as the space. Because with an HVAC system, you have to measure it out to make sure you've got the proper unit for the cubic feet of air that you're trying to condition. And so, my recommendation would be the bid that we take would come from Salem Heating and Cooling, and if there's questions.
I noticed in our budget that there's $15,000 budgeted for, building maintenance, equipment control, and we already have some expenses in there, so we'll probably do some sort of budget adjustment.
That's correct. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I like that too. Yeah, I think we were around 4 or so, is what our balance was for last year's capital improvements. And so we were gonna use remaining capital improvement money that was set aside and then ask for a budget adjustment to cover the difference on the animal shelter.
Chief, I noticed that we had another bid from Salem for 5G services. Looks like their bid was for $47.50. And the heating and cooling, is that the difference of like having a warranty? Or
Well,
am I missing something? Am I overlooking something?
well, they didn't attach the bids to that sheet.
Okay,
That's the bid.
perfect, okay.
And so there's no warranty information, there's no, service after the sale
Okay.
offer, there's no real
Programming,
information about.
provided a little more. Okay.
Same thing, cool.
Oh, sorry, yes,
Yeah,
heating and cooling. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and so the thing, it doesn't specify the size of the unit, the SEER, what the work, the scope, scale of the work is, so that bid was, I mean, we included it because it was one of them that was requested. They were one that supplied a bid for the request, but it's basically an incomplete bid because it doesn't cover the stipulations
Okay.
that we had in the bid, yeah, in the specs.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
The Salem Heating and Cooling bid, where does it list the warranty information? I don't think I see it in that package.
It's not actually on their bid, because part of that, trying to keep the playing field level, I contacted, Hartley's listed it on theirs, 5G did not list it on theirs, and so I called Thomas, from Salem Heating and Cooling, and asked him what his warranty information was, and so it was, I think, Friday at 4 or 4:30, we were trying to get agenda items ready for tonight's meeting. And so I just had to rely on a phone call, for that first system that was put in there. And, do you guys have the actual bids in front of you? Okay, yeah, so for that level 1 bid, that's the warranty on that, 10 years on parts, 2 years free labor. And the other part was, we've used both companies, Hartley's is a good company, but when it comes right down to it, we have a local company that puts in a bid, it's a good bid with good service after the sale. It's always my recommendation to shop local first.
I prefer local as well. So I don't know if I can approve this at this time, just because it's not documented, the warranty information in our packet. And we probably need to give, 5G an opportunity to rebid as well, if they're gonna provide any warranty information. So that'd be my recommendation, is to rebid this, that way the documentation's there for us and for the public as well. That'd be my recommendation. I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
I would also second that. I would like to see the warranty in the bid, just for documentation purposes, in case that ever sold. So we have that on our backbone, just to know that we have a warranty.
Okay.
Is there any other comments? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, we just kind of took that over.
Yeah. Is there any other comments? time we'll call for the vote. Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
No.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Alright. Thank you, Chief. Next up is new miscellaneous business. We have resolution number 13-2024.
Resolution number 13-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between TriCat Restoration, the city of Salem, and Judy Kaiser, owner of property located at 403 East Hunt Street, Salem, Missouri.
Thank you.
So this contract, of course, this is a welcome home, contract before you. We approved the bids at the last Alderman meeting. So these are the resulting three contracts. Contracts themselves are identical in language with the exception of the names of the parties and the amounts. You will see the negotiated bids are attachment A at the end of the contract, so that is included as part of the contract. And so I would stand for any questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
I don't.
Alright, this time do I have a motion for resolution number 13-2024?
Move to approve resolution number 13-2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
There's no further questions. I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
it. Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco.
I'm going to abstain from voting.
Next up is resolution number 14-2024.
Resolution number 14-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between TriCat Restorations, the city of Salem, Missouri, and Richard LaBrash, owner of property located at 1500 South Louise Street, Salem, Missouri.
Thank you.
To my apologies, Mayor, I forgot to mention last time, for those who might be new to this program, this is a grant program that the city received, and it's for low-income, owner-occupied homes to perform rehabilitation on that. So there is an owner match, as notated under fiscal impacts, for each of these contracts. So the city incurs the expense of the rehab, the owner pays their match to the city, and then the city applies for reimbursement of those funds. And again, I would stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board? At this time, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 14-2024.
I move to approve resolution number 14-2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderwoman Cisco.
I'm going to abstain from voting.
Next up is resolution 15-2024.
Resolution 15-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between Stephen Thurmond, the city of Salem, Missouri, and Orrin Welch, owner of property located at 403 West Hunt Street, Salem, Missouri.
Thank you.
I don't have anything new to add.
Okay. Does the board have any questions?
No.
This time, do we
motion to approve resolution 15-2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
I'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen?
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent?
Yes.
Alderman Boyd?
Yes.
And Alderman Cisco.
Do I get abstain from voting?
Thank you. Next up is a conditional use permit for 906 South Water Street.
On April 25th, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing regarding a couple of conditional use applications for short-term vacation rentals. At that meeting, there seemed to be no public opposition to it, or at the hearing anyway. At the public meeting, they voted unanimously to approve, or to recommend both for approval to you all. So the first one is 906 South Water. And that was recommended for approval by the commission.
Questions?
Does anybody have any questions? This time, do I have a motion to approve the conditional use permit for 906 South Water Street?
I'd move to approve the conditional use of 2 North MacArthur as a short-term vacation rental. Oh, sorry, wrong Water Street and one other. Sorry. The conditional use of 906 South Water Street as short-term vacation rental.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Hearing no questions, I'll call for the vote. Alderman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
And next up is the conditional use permit for 2 North McCarthy.
Again, this one was the same hearing, the same meeting, and the commission voted in favor of recommending it for approval as well. If you have questions, I'll be answering for you.
Any questions from the board? Do I have a motion for the conditional use permit for 2 North McCarthy?
Not go ahead and move to approve the conditional use of 2 North MacArthur as a short-term vacation rental.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next up is the first reading of bill number 3689.
Bill number 3609, an ordinance amending section 140.060 of the city code of the city of Salem, Missouri regarding the creation and membership of the airport advisory board, whereas it is deemed necessary by the board of aldermen to adjust the membership of the airport advisory board to better serve the needs of the city's airport.
Thank you.
So I'll go on this one here. So this is something that I requested to be on the agenda for the first reading, and then in our next meeting for the second reading and for the board's consideration. Currently, there's an even amount of members on the board. This year would aim to adjust the membership to have an odd number of boards just to prevent the typo on there. And additionally, there's a candidate with experience with aviation who has expressed interest in serving on the board, and I believe their experience would be invaluable, and I think they're well on board.
Thank you. Any other input from the board? All right, next up is reports of city officials, boards and committees. Administrator Berger, you're up first, ma'am.
So a couple of quick updates. First of all, regarding the airport, we have word from our airport engineer, Ian Wright with Faulkner, that they intend to hold a pre-construction meeting the end of this month, so the 30th or first. They expect the building materials to be delivered, by the end of June, which is actually ahead of schedule, so that's kind of an unheard of thing right now with projects. So that's moving along. So there's that update. We are getting kind of requests for timelines, and I should probably let Steve do some of this, but timelines for, transformers for different projects. So those are still in the works. We have, I think, 2 or 3 of those kind of outstanding, waiting for transformers to come in. So I want to just give you guys a quick update on that. And we will be seeing, information coming before you for the downtown project soon. Due to timing, we may need to schedule a special meeting to wrap that up before the month is over. So as we work through that, I'll try to keep you posted on that. I think that's all that I have for this evening.
All right, next up is my report. Tonight, I would like to present an award to a former board member who did an exceptional job, and I think that there's one person sitting here at the board right now that would disagree with me, and that would be to our ex-officiado. I thought I was going to mess that up when I said it. Ex-alderman Kyle Williams. We are late on presenting this to you, sir, but it is more than well deserved, and we do appreciate everything that you've done for our community and all the information that you do. All right? Yeah. There you go. We get the styrofoam too.
Put that on that voice card, Joe.
I would say we cannot get rid of Kyle. Kyle is one of those people who is continuously donating his time, his knowledge, and we are very grateful for Kyle to step back for personal reasons, to be able to focus on him and some other things that he has going on. He's a very busy man, but we're thankful that Kyle is still very connected and involved in many different committees. So we are thankful that you've not totally gotten rid of us, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle, for your service as an alderman, and thank you for your continued service for the city.
Almost thank you for drug with. Last but not least in my report, I wanted to give a big shout out and congratulations to all of our Salem High School graduates this year that are graduating in 2024. For that, that's all I have for tonight. Next person up to speak is our own Director of Public Works, Mr. Stephen Payne.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Just a quick rundown for the alderman and Mayor, what's been going on lately. I wanted to introduce from the wastewater treatment plant, our new plant operator, James Crawford, is here tonight and took over for Josh Hunt. And James has been in the shadows running the plant alongside Josh and has all the experience necessary to take it on by himself. Right now, he's running it with our help and different help from different departments. But we'll be conducting an interview on Friday and hopefully having someone out there to assist.
Thank you, James, for stepping up. It's greatly appreciated.
He's out there doing his daily testing and taking care of business. Those tests go out of town sometimes, so that takes a little bit of manpower, but he's getting it done. Water department for the past couple of weeks, sewer line fixes off of 3rd Street, sewer main fixed off of Robert Judson's property. That was a big one. Water line fixed off of Water Street for the new office that's going in down there, the old jail. So that was today. I got to get in a trench and kind of help out with that. And no sooner than they broke off from that to work on the next project, there was a water main issue down off of the old Walmart parking lot off of that down there. So unfortunately, China King was having some issues, and these guys jumped on it, and it was clean out had been crushed by a truck. This has happened a few times, so we're gonna work on a fix for that. But they were down in the hole. The electric department was down there in assisting. I mean, the team effort that you see with these guys is phenomenal. I mean, when you got a lineman that jumps in to help on a sewer main, that's a team effort, and they should,
Thank you.
There also, water, department's been working on training another vac truck user for the street department. Locates are continuously being done, meter repair replacements being conducted, and clean out miscellaneous curb gutters and culverts with the vac truck. So an example, once again, that vac truck can do the work with a good operator, can literally do the work of a 4-man, 5-man crew. They're out, they cleaned out behind 16 light poles out in the industrial park. So they can cut out an area without damaging wires, see what they've got, and then excavate the rest, you know. So it's just, it's amazing, great tool. We used it today. So the electric department pulled a pole over off of 3rd Street for a customer that didn't want a pole in their yard anymore. Prepped 14 light poles, as they set out the industrial park for repair. For folks that don't know or recall, we had a line burn off out in the industrial park that killed the long stretch of lights out there. So that's a total rehab and repair up there. Dig up and replant. And this time we're gonna put it in conduits and make sure it's done right. So for future issues. Let's see, help the water and sewer department, as I said, clean stock and fuel oil trucks in preparation for Tuesday evening storm. So these guys were setting up and they were ready for that evening. I don't think we had any major issues. They worked with the wastewater department, started and ran the generators at the old city hall in preparation for storm preparedness. The mechanic got out and helped make sure all the generators were ready to go and fired up for a test run. Fixed 6 street lights that were staying on day and night. We had some reports from the public of those. So these guys, I get hold of them, they jumped right on it. The flexibility is just great as far as getting on things. So 20 locates. The locates are, you know, constantly coming in, repair 3 power outages due to either birds or squirrels. We got a lot of cooked squirrels. If anybody's ever looking for squirrel, Josh is the guy, he's got squirrel. Construction crew put in 75 feet of sidewalk and an approach over on Missouri for a new home that Brady, Adams has built. Did a beautiful job over there. Those folks were real happy to sit there and make sure no one rode bicycles through it. Miscellaneous curb jobs, approach on the secondary street near Well 4. Our fences are about to go up around Well 4 and the water tower out in the industrial parks for, you know, homeland security reasons and such. That blocked off the gates for that citizen right there. And Alderman Dent got a hold of me and said, what can we do with this? So I went out and discussed it with him, and we built him an approach on the other side of his property so he can move his gates over and stuff. So still get access. Airport meeting, we've been out there to discuss improvements as well. That's a constant process. Water damage on Henderson, large curb approach projects coming up. There's a home over on Henderson that's just, for 30 years, has been taking on water from the street because there's no curb. And they literally have a swimming pool for a driveway, so we're gonna correct that for them. These are the things that pop up, that, you know, the little fires that we put out. Checked all city buildings for hail damage. Everything's in order. There was one leak in the gymnasium here that had been up on the roof and patched that. And there was metal roof, so there was no major damage from the hailstorm. So, and all the while, all the crews are doing their lawn mowing crews jobs as best they can, take care of that maintenance. So I really appreciate what they do. Streets is my final crew here. Brush cleanup out of the dump. That pile of mulch is getting close to burned out, and we're going to try to manage that so that doesn't happen again. Feel for the neighborhood out there as far as the smoke goes. Cemetery project, you know, mowing still going on. Looking forward to cleanup day on the 22nd. We're going to have these guys a food truck so they can have a nice lunch out there. You know, we're chipping in, make sure they got a nice thing going on. So all hands on deck for that, to make sure for Memorial Day that cemetery is as good as we can get it. So cleanup pipes, drop-ins for stormwater. The back truck comes in handy for that. We go out and we suck up issues and make sure that your stormwater is going where it's supposed to. The mechanics doing his maintenance and repairs. Like I said, checked all citywide generators, and and assisted with the water department. So I'm just happy to see in the time I've been here, just the way these guys are working as a team. It's good stuff, so. Thank you. Did you have any questions?
No, I just want to comment. I'm very thankful for your reports. It shows us how well our city staff works very well together. And not to mention that we know that you guys are shorthanded. We know that we need to, budget for some relief for you guys. But know that it's very much appreciated and makes me happy. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the rest of the board. When we see you guys working together as a team, you all could have thrown rocks or thrown your tools down and left us. You've toughened it out and you've worked and you've, essentially tightened your belt and put your hat on and just dove in. And it's very much appreciated. It doesn't go unnoticed. And we do see the hard work that you guys are putting in, the overtime. There was one evening I was on my way home and saw one of the departments working way after hours. I pulled in to see if I could get them some Sonic drinks, and there's Steve. We pulled in at the same time. Steve said, "I've already got drinks." So I'm like, all right, well, that's all I was here for. So it is very much appreciated. We do notice it, and I cannot thank you guys enough for sticking it out with us.
I offered a pizza, but no one wants pizza at a sewer main break.
I don't blame them.
I missed one other detail. Tim Conway we did a series of interviews. Tim Conway is being hired on for the street department. Heavy equipment operation experience, so he'll come in and Brandon will get him set up and hopefully help them function more efficiently. We'll do a secondary interview for a gentleman for the water department, and hopefully a sewer plant help on Friday if that interview goes well.
Steve, I'd like to add something to your list, and I feel like it's every time this year that we're having to reach out, this time of the year, that we're having to reach out to MoDOT. There's a lot of mowing that they need to do, such as J Highway along MacArthur there. Just a lot that they potentially need to do, and I know a lot of citizens think that that is city property. So if you see something that is not mowed and it's a ditch line, it's probably MoDOT. I'm not saying that if it's just a little line, if you want to go ahead and mow that, nobody's going to penalize you for that. I don't think MoDOT's going to come knock on your door and ask why you mowed a little inch of their property. But again, if you do have a complaint or an issue, please reach out to Steve. More than likely, he's probably going to tell you that it's MoDOT property and that we're reaching out. But do you mind to remind and reach out to MoDOT to tell them that we have property that needs mowed?
No, that's fine. And if you call through the utility department, they'll take that call, they'll get that information to me. I have a weed eater in my vehicle, I'm hitting fire hydrants as I go. If there's something I can take care of, I will as well, because it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
One team will get it
Absolutely.
done.
Melissa's department is really good about the parks. They let it go as long as they can. But they do a really good job of just putting their work belt on and getting out their meetings. So thank you, Melissa, and your crew. I know you try to wait as long as possible, but we do have fall season. So you like that park to look ship-shape when it's that time of the year, so thank you.
Roger that. And so the main city number is 4811 up there, and there's a prompt for my office. So I'm in and out, I'll get the message and we'll take care of it.
And they should call that for every department, correct? They should be calling the water department, the utility. It's specifically the 4811, right?
Yes. And there's prompts for every office. So policy is, my personal policy is I get back to them within 24 hours at all costs, if not sooner. So.
And we do appreciate folks calling the 4811 number. That way you're not jamming up the utility office lines.
Well, I'll say what she said, that, just the same thing, thank you. Okay, I'll try to keep it short. Thank you, guys. All right, next up is Melissa's voice. Come on up, grab your mic, man.
Good evening. How are you guys? You can if you like. I have some good news I want to share first. I know you guys know there's bad news, but there's good news. We have our summer park camp happening, and registration open today. So that is from June 10th through June 12th. Because of the bad news, we will go from 8 to 1 for those children, and lunch is not provided, but we do have time for snacking if they want to bring their lunch. And it's always a lot of fun, but it is for the first 25 kiddos that register. We do a lot of fun, hands-on activities, so that's always good for the summer. Then, my staff worked really hard today to open the splash pad. So currently the splash pad is open, I got to announce that today. One thing I do want to remind the public, our splash pad has a touch sensor on it. It is a red pull with a slightly movable tap button. You just have to barely tap that button and it should come on. We have a lot of people that are really rough with that button and sometimes it can dislodge from the inside. So if it's not working, please let us know because it's probably come dislodged. So, on to the bad news. Horrible bad news. It makes me extremely sad. We all know that we had the hailstorm on April the 18th. We came back, I made sure my staff checked our buildings, our vehicles. I did not even think to check our pool liner. It was not on the forefront of my brain because I figured it was pliable. Dustin went to open it up. So in the process of opening up, we power washed it, cleaned it really well. He sent me a couple of pictures and said, Melissa, I discovered some cracks. And I'm like, okay, I'm instantly gonna send this to Westport Pools because I'm not the expert. Westport for us is the expert. And then as he continued to try to clean, he kept sending me more pictures and he said, this is not just part of the pool, there are several locations in the pool, mostly on the west side, that have sustained lots of damage. And when you see the shapes on the liner, you know, if you saw any pictures from the hail. I had a kid playing golf, and he sent me a picture of a golf ball and hail, and it was the same exact size, except it had jagged, rigid edges. So I don't know if any of you guys had that damage at your house. If you did, I'm so sorry, because we're now feeling the same brunt of that. This is not what we wanted to find out at all. I contacted Westport Pools. They asked us to send more pictures and like some broader pictures to see where all the damage was from. Asked us to test the joints to see if it all went all the way through. So yes, the pool is made of concrete, but it does have a liner, a membrane that goes on top of it to protect the concrete and to hold the water in. So it's very beneficial to us because before that we were losing water, and that was before my time. And with talking with Westport, we did learn that our pool liner is between 7 and 8 years old, and as time goes on, it becomes less pliable, which they believe is the reason that it was a little more brittle when the hail hit in those certain spots. With initial talks with them, I asked them because they are our resource. They are who winterize and they winterize our pools. I asked them if they could give us an estimate of what they projected would cost to replace it because we needed that information for our insurance to get the claim started. So they did give us that information, and then we talked together, and the process of it, because of the amount of the estimate, we have to put it out for bid. So we will do that process. We've actually started today. All of that bid packet information went out today. I notified Westport, but I also contacted 4 other pool companies, contractors within Missouri, to give them that same information so that we can have a broader variety of people to give us an estimate. I think that we need that because we're not pool experts. We need some information from outside sources. So I think people jump to the conclusion thinking that we weren't already doing that, but we are. We're diligently working on this because I don't know if you guys know what you're not, but I have 19 staff. And that broke my heart to tell them that they didn't have a summer job. That killed me. Because these high school students spent between $200 and $275 to become certified to be lifeguards. I'm gonna get emotional because I know what it is to be a kid and to expect money and to expect a job and to work really hard to become certified because it's not easy. It's not an easy feat to become certified to be a lifeguard. But anyway, I'm working with them also to try to compensate part of their certification because we need these kids to come back. We need them to want to work again. And you know, I hope that this is a quick fix. Projected timelines did not state that. Pool season is upon us, and all the companies are extremely busy with their already contracted work. Westport gave us an estimate of time. They said they could get to us if we could get contracts to them immediately, which will not be the case because we do have to put it out for bid. Late June, mid-July. that started, how long would it take? And the process to get started, it would take 4 weeks to finish, approximately, which is still a long time. And our summer season is really not that long, it's about 3 months long. And we would love to extend the season because it's always really hot in August, but all my staff are students, and most of them are athletes. And they have prior engagements and commitments, and that leaves me very short-handed. And I'm not running a pool short-handed because I take people's lives very seriously. And I want a staff pool for the safety of the people that are at my pool. Anybody have any questions for me about that?
Melissa?
Yes.
Just for future thought, you guys might have already thought about this. Is there any steps or measures, or is anybody did any research about what we can do to protect it from future incidents after we do this correctly?
That is a question we will ask them. I know that we, in the manual, it says that you can leave water in it, but regardless if you leave water in it, you start the whole process all over again. You have to drain it. And for winterizing purposes, you really do need to drain it because we have all of our pipes under the concrete, and we don't want that freezing with water in it.
I'm thinking of the protective cover on top of it.
We can
It's
look
pretty,
at.
it's a pretty big pool.
Yes, yes. I think in the past they've had that. I think it took everybody in the city to cover it. That's something we can check into though, but I don't know the cost. I don't know it off the top of my head. What I just handed you, I wanted Westport Pools to give a written statement of what they thought when they saw documentation. And they also contacted the manufacturer of the membrane and collaborated together and came up with, this is not a patch job, this is a replacement job. And we were hoping that maybe we could kind of limp through summer and be not like aware that we were gonna lose some water. But as long as we could have a season, would be okay to kind of offset that. But after further investigation, they highly recommended that we not open until it could be completely replaced.
Melissa, I appreciate you and your staff taking the time to look into this. I know it's unfortunate for you guys because this is also a huge hit to you guys in the summer because the pool is a very busy, popular time. And I know this isn't news that you wanted to bear everybody with right at the beginning of the warm season. So thank you for doing your due diligence to try everything you could to keep the pool going for as long as possible. Unfortunately, it's out of your power and our power. I know you told me you contacted multiple people just to see if we can stay open until they can start, but it's not, feasible to keep our pool safe, so.
You can't prevent nature from this, okay?
I would have tried if I would have known.
Melissa,
My umbrella.
how old did you say the liner was, 7 or 8?
They estimated it to be 7 or 8 years old.
What do they think the service life on the liner is?
That's actually something I'm going to investigate, because
I myself do not know at this time.
So, am I looking at this right? In 8 years, it's not suitable to repair,
That's what they stated.
and so we're gonna have to replace it at a cost of $142,000 roughly?
That is the estimated cost, but it will be submitted to insurance, and I believe it's a $50,000 copay. Or deductible, sorry.
Hey Melissa, I know that a lot of people thought that the pool was concrete, and it is.
It is.
But it's covered by a pool liner. And
Yes.
is that kind of like a leather pleather, is it a thick
It's a
liner?
60 ml, it's like a rubberized liner. And underneath it, I believe it's like even thicker felt liner. So if the water got in between that, it would separate those two surfaces, and it would be more of an unsafe surface for people to be on.
Okay, I just had a lot of people reach out, they're like, I didn't think that had a liner, I thought it was just a painted concrete, so that makes sense of
Yes.
why.
I'm gonna tell you that this hits so hard. We have a padded area. If you've ever been to our pool, we have a kiddie side of it, and it's a padded, like it's spongy. It's padded, so it has some give. Even that spot has damage. That's how hard it took it there.
When I first went through all that hail, especially when I'm home and all of our vehicles damaged and stuff, and you're in community from what progressive insurance has told me, there was quite a few people that did a lot of damage.
Yeah, there were a lot of cars in this building that sustained a lot of
I don't want
damage.
you to take this, so, I get it that you take it hard, but I don't want you to because you can't prevent weather. You can't prevent Mother Nature.
I understand.
That'd be like telling a tornado to go the opposite way, don't in your town.
I know, I just hate it for the kids. I hate it,
Yeah.
like, it's a fun place to be. We take pride we've been trying to throw around some ideas, but, it'll just depend on what the budget kind of states. I did have, the pool manager from the center, she operates the pools there. She's the one that certifies all my guards. She heard about it today and reached out and said that she's actually in need of some guards. And so that was really good news that I could tell some of them, a lot of my kids right now are 15 cannot drive.
Yeah.
So for some of those 16-year-olds, that might be an option for them to be able to use their certification, which I really hope they can do that. But one more thing I forgot to mention, we just got soccer season over with. We did have to have a couple of rain delays, not delays, cancellations and reschedules, which sometimes becomes quite crazy. We ended up using one Saturday and then we put games on a Thursday and a Friday evening, which it went well. It all worked out. We got all our games in, so that's really good. And then we are now starting summer ball, which is t-ball, softball, and baseball. We have over 400 kiddos participating. I get to step into the arena now and coach because we didn't have enough coaches, so that'll be really fun. We're gonna have the most fun team ever. It's the best.
At least you don't have 5-year-olds.
We have 8 and under, so. But that's all I have.
I have a question, excuse me, City Administrator.
Go ahead.
I believe at the end of the season, last fall, you and I had a conversation about lifeguards. And I suggested that maybe the pools stay open at the end of the season, maybe a month, like into September, so kids would have a place to go after school. And you said to me that lifeguards were an issue. But then I talked to some other people in the city, and they said that they were certified as lifeguards, having kept up their certification. So my question to you is, would you be open to hiring these older individuals within the community?
If they are certified.
They are.
They
Well,
have
that's
to be
what I'm talking about.
certified and they have to recertify. So your certification only lasts 2 years.
Yes.
And then you have to recertify.
And they pointed out to me, yes, they
Yeah.
were still certified.
Yeah, it's very serious. And then, we put out we put out the information for application and we did not receive the applications from them.
Okay, well, I think they thought that all you wanted were young people and wouldn't take anybody old, but I would convey
No,
that.
I have managers that are not teenagers. I actually prefer some adults there because sometimes you need some adult assistance.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I just want to add, 1 or 2 things about the pool, just due to, things flying around the community right now about the pool. So the COP payments on the pool, which is how the upgrades that were done back in 2017, that's how they were paid for. So those payments are in the budget, the current budget and the proposed budget, and those are not impacted whether the pool is open or not, okay? Because those COP payments are made from the 3/8 cents park and rent tax that the city passed back in 17, I'm assuming. So those payments come from that, not from the pool revenues. So I just wanted to put that out there so that everyone was aware.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Cisco, do you have anything to report?
Are you nervous for me? Rude. This week is National Police Appreciation Week. So Joe, thank you and all your guys for everything that you do to keep this city safe and sound. I truly enjoy doing ride-alongs with your guys, just seeing how, ship shape you keep your department and how organized they are and how serious they take their job. It's not that they, rush to every single call, but when it is serious or mildly serious, you're gonna take it very serious. So I appreciate their service and their time that they put in. I know a lot of them put in a lot of overtime, and that is very much appreciated. And just thank them for us. I'll be by tomorrow with lunch for you guys. So I'm very excited to deliver that to all of you. It's also Teacher and Nurse Appreciation Week. They all fall in, so this time of year I'm very busy meeting, greeting, dropping off treats, snacks to all of them. Their dedication to the students, to their patients, it is just remarkable. I have a sister that is a nurse, and just the things that she goes through, sees, it's just amazing that they continue to go back to work because it's not a job for me. SACPA, which is the Salem Area Community Betterment Association, they are putting on their Gift of Time award ceremony this week. It is going to be on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Ozark Natural and Culture. I believe that it is that building that they did that beautiful mural on that they paid for. And the speaker is the gentleman who did the painting on that building. So I'm very excited to hear from him, but if you want to attend that, you can. It's at 6 p.m. like I said, but it's just a time to recognize those who give a lot of their volunteer time and just to recognize them for doing so. So it should be a lot of fun and I'm excited to attend myself. Your Salem Chamber Director, she's new, she's young, she is driven. She has a lot of fun things going on right now. She is doing what is called Brewing for Business. So if you own a business or you want advertisement out there for what you have going on, you can get a hold of Emily Cook. She is, like I said, the Chamber Director. And that is located in the old Scoops building at Crossroads. And Brewing for Business is just an opportunity to have people within your company to hang out, have coffee, and just chat. It's a great opportunity to get new networking environments, or new networking partners. So if you are trying to find like-minded people to share a connection with or get more involved in your community to get to know people, you're new to the area, that's a great way to meet new people, new business owners, and to potentially just provide a connection. She also has a live music festival coming up. Devin Sutterfield, I do not know if many of you know him, but he is a young man who grew up here in a community, attended school with Sean and I, and he is a very talented artist. So he is opening up this music festival. It's going to be June 22nd at the Common Grounds Fairgrounds, and they actually are selling tickets right now. If you're wanting to stay in with the Chamber, they do have a Facebook page. It is the Salem Mo Area Chamber, and they do have an event page for this specific music festival. So go out and look for that. But the Crow Boys is who the main event is surrounded around. They've become a very popular music band and are traveling all over the United States. Right now they're on tour, and our Chamber Director got them to come to small town Salem. So it's a great opportunity for us to be a part of. Ball season is up on us, as Melissa said, so that's T-ball, that is softball and baseball. I am back at coaching, so I am coaching a very young team and excited to do so. It's exciting when you get to coach your own nephews, so be praying for me because I have 5-year-olds. But I just want to remind people of the parking ordinance. There's not a parking ordinance, but however, it is much easier if we just park on one side of the street instead of both sides of the streets, because then traffic cannot flow through. I believe Melissa and her crew does a really good job of opening that back gate during fall season, so you can enter like you do to the normal park entrance, but there's an exit that you can go off of on the back side behind the pool to make the traffic a little bit more bearable through there. And Joe, if you don't mind to just remind your guys, I know they do a good job of patrolling through there during fall season, but a lot of the times we're having to track down owners of vehicles to ask them to move so vehicles can get out and move around. So please be cautious of that. Again, we did pass an ordinance for no smoking on the park grounds and the ball fields, so please keep that in mind as our signs have not arrived yet. There are a lot of smoke healthy, smoke free signs all over the fences of the ball fields, but if you see somebody smoking, just remind them. It is a new ordinance. The coaches are doing a really good job of reminding their parents of no smoking, so they're passing the word out that way. But let's keep our children safe this summer doing so. Last that I have is, it is yard mowing season, so please make sure that you're doing your due diligence to keep up with your properties and mowing. If you are not able to mow, there are several mowing services that can help you and provide you with that. And yard waste, please make sure you're cleaning up your yard waste. We no longer go around and check that every month. The street department will pick that up for a fee of $40, I believe, and you can call that same number as the 729-4811 to pick up your yard waste for you instead of leaving it on the side of the street, or if you're not able to pick it up yourself. Thank you.
I am impressed.
What?
Thank you, Alderwoman.
You're welcome.
That is an awesome report. Alderman Borzak.
It's hard to follow, that's an excellent report.
Thanks, I tried.
Something that Kayla didn't mention in her report on the SACPA Gift of Time Award is that she was nominated for the Gift of Time Award under the Education Youth category. So I want to recognize her for that, and want to thank her and thank all of her volunteers in our community. They truly make a positive impact here. Really, the only thing I have is, there's a lot of national weeks to recognize, and last week happened to be, local government week. And, local government has a direct impact on each of us in Salem and Benton County every day. Our city, county, and schools are the backbone of the community, working together to enhance our quality of life. And I want to take a moment to thank everyone involved in our local government with public works, the police, the parks, the administration, animal control, code enforcement, the administration, and the mayor and board. And also want to recognize our county elected officials and their employees and law enforcement county level, and also want to recognize our school boards and the teachers and administrators. We truly have an awesome community, and just wanted to recognize all of them.
Thank you, Alderman Boyd. Thank you again, Alderman Cisco, for you taking time out to coach.
Thank you.
Okay, that's greatly appreciated. Hopefully, I get my grades. Alderman Whalen.
Nothing.
Alderman Denton.
I'd like to express my sympathy to Steve Payne on his recent loss, and to let you know that we do appreciate you and all that you do for our West Ward and probably the East Ward too. Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm glad to see that there's a lot of interest in the city, and we're glad to see you. And that's all I have to say.
Short and sweet. All right. That being said, the last item we have is for closed session for attorney-client privilege.
I'm good to go to closed session for legal.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll call for the vote. Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.